And we are live, everybody. What's going on? MLB Strategy Show, Tuesday, September 10th. I'm Josh Engleman here to break down 10-game slate? 11-game slate. Man, we're going to have a good one today. Contest structure looks nice. We've got 50K up top on DraftKings. Lots to talk about as we break it all down. But first and foremost, you guys know the drill. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at stochastic_com. What everything in our universe, Stochastic MLB. Get in, folks. Come join us. Going to be a good day. Lots to talk about. Doesn't appear that we're going to have any weather issues. I was looking at sports cards. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm excited for the slate. I'm running my sims now. But we have absolutely crystal clear skies, basically clear across the board. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. So, let's talk a little bit of baseball. What do you say? I'll let everybody trickle in for now, but we don't have football today. I mean, we have an NFL show coming up immediately after this at 10 a.m. You do get NFL coverage, but we don't have any football games tonight, which means that we could focus all of our efforts on the baseball streets. Where do we want to start? Let's take a peek at the teams that I have marked down as my top stacks, and we'll see what that ends up looking like. Number one, pretty clearly for me right now, that is the Baltimore Orioles. Now, I am much higher on Baltimore than Stochastic is. Stochastic has Baltimore third in top stack. I have them number one. And I have the value a little bit more. However, Baltimore is currently 12th in ownership. We got Cutter Crawford on the opposite side. Park is fine for lefty power. That's great for Henderson, for Mullins, for Santander, for O'Hearn, for Rutschman, for Kauser, for Holiday. So I think it's full steam ahead Orioles today. Like pretty clearly to me. Maybe this ends up being different or wrong or something, but what I have right now has me really liking the Orioles. Maybe this line comes down. Maybe it already has come down. Let me look at it. 9 and coin flip. Yeah, so this line has come down since I grabbed it. I'm way higher on this line to the point where kind of makes me want to start over and rerun all my stuff. We are going to do that. It doesn't change anything that we're saying right now, but I don't trust that line. And I think I'm going to be much more in line with Baltimore. With the site on Baltimore when I update this. Because both teams are going to be going down by a half run. So, yeah, that's going to... Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not going to change anything too much. Where do we have them in top stack for run total? Baltimore at 5. We have Baltimore at 5.1, so I agree. We have Boston at 5. Yeah, okay, maybe I don't have to make any changes. I like it. Never mind. Change my mind. Baltimore is number one. I don't think that's going to move all that much for me. So we have a tie between the Guardians and the Brewers. Now, if I'm being honest, I think it's pretty clearly the Guardians. I have the Guardians second. Stochastic has the Guardians second. I have it third in value. We have it fourth. I'm spot on. This is the number one owned team. Man, I'm really excited to try to build out an Orioles stack in the single game sim after this. But as I'm looking at it right here, I mean, it's so easy to get to Cleveland. And honestly, like they're 10% owned, but like it's not that problematic. But it's outfield, second, third, first. Jonathan Cannon on the opposite side. Park is good. Massive run total. Huge favorites. How do you get away from Cleveland? Like these guys are they fit into everything. They fit with everyone. This is going to be the same situation that we had yesterday. I think we're going to look to build out like a more expensive Orioles stack. And then you just kind of take whatever fits from a team like Cleveland today, because they're just going to project better than everybody. They just are. They look fantastic. I mean, I'm assuming Jose Ramirez is one of the better point per dollar plays that you can get to. Just out of curiosity, let's look. So let me filter out pitchers quickly. Done. All right. So, wow, he's actually a little bit further down than I was expecting. Jose Ramirez, I have as the number 8 overall play relative to salary. And then number 6, salary agnostic. Not that we're surprised. I mean, it's a lot of talent at the top there. Got to get to the Guardians. You just do. Now, we have the Brewers with a 5.3 run implied total. That line is actually 7.5. So the way that we have the Brewers is going to change. There wasn't a line on that game when I woke up, at least. And I think we have an artifact in there of something pulling differently, because the Brewers are not going to have that big of a run total. That line, it's basically a pick'em game, slight lean to Milwaukee, but 7.5 run total. So the Brewers' status in our top stack tool is going to look a little bit different. The next team that we need to go to, I think, is the Astros. I have them 3rd. Stochastic has them 4th. It appears I'm a much bigger believer in the Astros in this scenario. Very easy to stack. 2nd, outfield, 3rd, catcher, 1st, short. I mean, 1 through 7, you could really mix and match. Now, Beto on the opposite side doesn't get blown up all that bad. He doesn't have any real homer problems. I bet Kyle Tucker to homer, if anybody is interested. I also bet Tristan Gray to homer in this game. Steven, yeah, it does. Whatever the opposing starting pitcher will be, if it's a switch hitter, it'll grab the opposite side. And then for the final plate appearances, like, because, let's just say the starter goes 6 for the whatever plate appearances allocated in the latter half, then it's a 50-50 split. I just go 50-50 split, or not 50-50 split, but like balance to their plate appearance split normally. But yes, always taken into account. Man, it's going to be like Astros, Orioles, Guardians for sure. The most natural thing to me is 5-man Orioles, 5-man Astros, Guardians filler. That seems like the path. All right, first set of my script is done. I don't think that's the right file, but it's going to work to get me to where I want to be. Actually, that's the right file. We got it. Yeah, this is it. It's just, look at I have such a big gap in top stack. It's 13 to the Orioles, 10 to the Guardians, 10 to the Astros. You have the Red Sox sneaking in there at 8%, but then the next highest is 6. There's a really big gap between the top couple teams on DK today. and the rest of the teams on DK. Like, we can take a look at the Red Sox quickly. Albert Suarez on the hill for Baltimore. Not anybody that we're super worried about. We're getting a bunch of lefties, particularly at the top of the order. Lefty power plays up better in Boston. You got the righty on the hill for Baltimore. Boston's not all that owned. They are expensive, but not that expensive. Because we have 22 teams on the slate. Stochastic has them 14th. I have them 12th. I mean, we're in the exact same area. They're only 5% owned, so they're easy to get to. The problem is how shitty they are as a stack. Outfield, third, outfield, outfield, outfield. That's terrible. But, if you want to load up on, you want to take that outfield chunk. You want to go Duran, Devers, Abreu, Yoshida, and, Tristan Casas, we'll say. Then you can go to the Guardians after that and get all of those individual position players that exist and fill in from there. So I get the Boston side of it too. After that, it just falls off a cliff. There's one team that I think we'll get to, which is the A's. So let's talk about that. The reason I think that is that Spencer Arrighetti is getting, in that 25% ownership range, which means it's the second highest mark. We'll get to who's top of the list in a bit. But the A's have power. The park plays it up. 124 park factor for lefty homers. So you're getting the righty and Arrighetti. So I like the idea of getting to Oakland. They're basically free. Positions at the top are kind of annoying, but still. All those signs point to wanting to get to Oakland, just in general. And then you look at that, it's the ownership here for Arrighetti, where you get a lot of additional leverage by targeting him. And I expect to both have him. Actually, I expect to be light on him. But I'm going to end up, my guess, when I load my sim results in, more than 2x the field on Oakland. I don't think the same thing is going to happen for the Angels. Pablo Lopez is 43% owned. I think that's probably about right. The Angels aren't very good. Their implied total is not very good. The strikeout potential for Pablo Lopez is very high. Now, I may be higher on Pablo Lopez than we are, but Pablo Lopez is also the fourth most expensive pitcher today. And I have him projected higher than everybody by 5 full fantasy points. We have Lopez only 1.5 points ahead of Arrighetti, and then the gap starts. I am much lower on Arrighetti, much higher on George Kirby. Kirby playing at home today. We know what Seattle home pitchers do. They turn into Cy Young candidates across the board. So I don't anticipate getting to the Angels because of how low their top stack odds are to take advantage of the ownership for Lopez. I do anticipate getting to the A's. And then you just have a bunch of guys. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish guys around 10%. So that'll feel randomly actionable. But this case, my expectation is I want to get to Baltimore and don't get them. I get a lot of Cleveland. I think I end up with more Astros and then the A's. But primarily Guardians. Guardians and Astros are my expectation for top 2. Astros 3. Any other teams you guys want me to look at? My sims are just about finished. Before we take a look at that exposure, any teams that you guys have your eye on that you want me to take a peek at? Because a lot of the rest of this is just mid-pack. Yankees, Royals, Mets, Reds, A's to a degree, but you get the leverage. Diamondbacks, Rangers, Dodgers. I think a lot of that is just kind of meh. I got a bunch of bets in on some of that stuff. Cubbies. Okay. Yamamoto coming back, which is interesting. He's 9,500, unplayable if you're trying to roster him as your pitcher. I mean, I got him a 2.7% top stack. Stochastic has 2.9, same exact top value. They're the third least owned team. Park helps for sure. You know, Yamamoto might not have it, but like if he doesn't have it, I don't think you get him out there getting beaten around. Like the moment you see he doesn't have it, I think like they probably just end it. Bush and Bellinger, 2-man. I mean, I don't have any issue with it other than, I mean, I would add Happ to that list too, but I don't think there's any need to go to the Cubs. Mets and Toronto. Yeah, Mets for sure. Toronto, no. Unless you're just mentioning the game 4-prong. Mets side, yeah. 5 to 6% chance of being the top stack. Owned less than that. Easily stackable. 2 MPEs. Bassett on the other side is, just a whatever situation. Probably a little under-owned at the top of the lineup. That Lindor, Vientos, Nimmo, Alonso, and you're going short third, outfield first. So I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. And Bassett has enough ownership that it's at least a little bit appealing. All right, my sim is done. So let's see what I'm actually getting right now. A little nervous. Then we could talk a little bit about pitching. And then we'll build some lineups. I definitely see some Oakland in there. And all of the Pablo Lopez, it appears. All right, what are we getting? I have 20% of the Guardians, 16% of the Oakland A's, 3x the field. I knew what was coming. I got 2x of the Orioles. And then Steven Leibowitz just said, did you mention the Twins? I was multitasking. Third most exposed team here, the Minnesota Twins. So I must have had like a janky line. Let me rerun that and see what's going on there. Because I have the Twins 15th in top stack, and I'm guessing that is just a line error, but I do like them. I certainly do like them. I'm going to look at them in a second when this top stack sim runs again, but we expected to see the Guardians. They're an incredibly high-end stack, and they're cheap. Bo Naylor in particular, probably the one of the easiest catcher places or catcher spots to fill at 3,100 in this matchup. Jimenez again, Ramirez again, Stephen Kwan again. It's just happening. A's. I told you guys it was going to happen, and it did. We're targeting Arrighetti. We're a little bit lighter than the field. Only came in at 20%. Loading up on Butler, Bleday, Langoliers, Seth Brown, Geloff. Not as much Tristan Gray. I would like to have a little bit more, but neither here nor there. Still getting, a little bit over on the Astros too. In particular, you can tell how much salary we have left. 2xing Yordan Alvarez, 2xing Kyle Tucker, both $5,600 and $5,900 outfielders. So that all makes sense to me. Is the sim change for the Twins? Oh, did I not save it? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. There we go. Let's try that again. All right. All of that A's exposure makes sense to me. Clearly, I think the Baltimore Orioles exposure makes sense to me. Loading Gunner, loading Cedric Mullins, loading Santander. So 1, 2, 3. Very, very, very happy with that. 2xing the Cardinals. Didn't think about that one. Rhett Lauder going for Cincinnati. Not a big stand, but, north of 10 to 15 on Wynn, Arenado, Donovan, Nootbaar, a little bit of Burleson and Goldschmidt. Decent enough flyer stand. And then the Royals, which, again, I'm not surprised to see. Mid-tier team, fits randomly. It's a lot of Bobby Witt, Tommy Pham, and MJ Melendez. I'm great with that. Pham and Melendez are free. Bobby Witt is just simply good. How is that not moving? Why are the Twins showing up with such low top stack odds with that implied total? Oh, I have a broken player in here. Deshaun Kiersey. I must not have mapped correctly before this. So that's why the Twins' top stack odds are showing up all wonky, because 2.9% makes no sense, but it's because I didn't map Kiersey correctly on my back end. I probably don't have his name in my lineup list. Yeah, I don't. Makes sense. Definitely like the Twins, though. Doesn't change anything from my regular Sims. So pitching exposures. 92% Pablo Lopez. Yeah, that's there's no chance I'm gonna not do that. I also have 46% of Hayden Birdsong. That's a bird. That's a bird. I mean, to a degree, I get it. Park is great to limit power. He's 5,400. We are even higher on Hayden Birdsong than I am. I have 7% top 2 pitcher, 29% top value. We have it at 10 and 30. So there you go. Jam Pablo Lopez. Play some Spencer Arrighetti. And go all the way to the bottom for Hayden Birdsong. I also have 10% of Canning, 12% of Savali. So it does feel like a day where you can grab a little bit more at the bottom. It doesn't hurt that Imanaga, Yamamoto, and Eovaldi are all basically not rosterable. So it's Birdsong season. We're going to build with him in a second. In fact, we're going to build with him right now. Let's build some lineups in the single game sim. Folks, what do you say? If you want this tool, head to Stokastic.com right now and sign up. Whether that's on the MLB side, whether that's on the NFL side, which is here. Tool exists for both. On the NFL side, showdown and main slates. All of the slates that you could possibly want. So if you want to sign up for not just that tool, projections, ownership, top stacks, top pitchers, all of our advanced data, you can do that right now by clicking the link in the description of this video. And also hit the like button once again, subscribe to the channel, notification bell, all that good stuff. All right, folks. Let's build the lineup. I'm going to take a sip of water. That'll work. That'll work. All right. So I think very clearly out of the gate, Pablo Lopez is going in and my boy Birdsong's going in. And then I want to do Oakland. Since we don't have Arrighetti in the lineup, I want to do Oakland. That's the most interesting one to me. We'll probably fill this out with Cleveland. So if we go to Oakland, so I can see who I really want the most. Butler, obviously going straight into that lineup. No way around it. Bleday, I think, is going straight into that lineup. Seth Brown is going into that lineup. Nope, I want Seth Brown at first. Seth Brown in. Langalier's in. Can't use Tristan Gray, which sucks. Don't want to use the third outfielder. Yeah, Jake, I'll run that. Maybe I can go 4-4. Oakland, Cleveland. We'll see if we could flip that. So then if we go to Cleveland, Jimenez, Jose Ramirez. Maybe we'll end up doing... No, we won't end up doing Jacob Wilson over Rocchio. Rocchio. Oh my God, we have infinite salary left over. So we're going to be able to upgrade Birdsong. If we go to Quan, we have 2,700 left. Who's the highest projected pitcher we can get to? And then we can grab Savali. That's fine. Don't mind that at all. No, we're still leaving way too much salary on the table. All right, well, we're going to get Rooker in for somebody then, but I don't want to take Butler or Bleday out. That's the tricky part here. Huh. It's like all of these guys are too cheap. All right, we got to get Rocchio out of there. It's got to be a 4-3-1. Yeah, okay, that makes way more sense. Mason Wynn is the highest projected. So let's see what we get here on a 4-3-1. I don't love it. I think it's going to be okay. Yeah, 29%. I'm not surprised. We can do better here. But what we want to remember here is 125% aggregate ownership and 100 in the projection. So we definitely want to be north of 100. We want to see what we can do with that ownership number. I need to get another Oakland guy into that lineup, which in this case makes it Zach Geloff. Who's the highest projected guy that we don't have in? Rooker. All right, so it's Geloff. If I get Geloff in, now I have the 5. Obviously, Ramirez is going nowhere. I don't want Rocchio still. I do want Quan still. And now shortstop can actually be Willy Adames. How the hell? So we lost fantasy points there. Really? This is going to be either the same or slightly worse. We might be able to upgrade Savali higher than 6,300. Oh, better, really. It must be because of the 5-man. Can we upgrade Savali? No, we cannot. I think we might be able to do better than that Cleveland 3-man. What maximizes us? I mean, it's probably the Cleveland 3-man. Can Boston get us there? So that's Devers, Story, Duran. Can we upgrade Savali then? No, still can't. Man, pitching stinks. Pitching stinks. Yeah, 14. Not surprised. There's got to be a spot where we can maximize this third short outfield scenario. What happens if I go back to Birdsong? That's 5,800 across the board here. What if we game stack and we get Alvarez, Bregman, Jacob Wilson, and Jeremy Pena do not help me here. It does allow me to get. I'm gonna pull Bleday and take Tucker. I wish I would give anything for a good shortstop in this game. It just doesn't exist. Like, Jacob Wilson just immediately eviscerates this lineup. Best solo shortstop is Adames in this spot. This should grade out decent, but I really would prefer the 5-man. Yeah, there we go. We're climbing. We're climbing. So the Oakland-Houston game stack is right there for us. Actually, what if we blend this even further? That's not possible. Seth Brown's got to stay there. Oh, that's what we need to do. We get Geloff out. We get Altuve in. And then we could actually keep Jacob Wilson and have the 4-4. Ooh, I think this might be better. Nah, same window. Same area here. Altuve, Bregman, Tucker, Alvarez. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 top of Houston is great. That's absolutely fantastic. Seth Brown, I'm happy with. Langoliers, I'm happy with. Diaz projects better, same sort of value. But if we do that, there is not an available shortstop at 2K. That's where we get eviscerated. Now, technically, Max Schumann is a highly better value than Bregman. Can we make this lineup better by putting Schumann in there and going one off at short for 4,400? Mason win. All right, this is my last try on this one, and then I'm going to run that lineup, Jake, because we got a lot of time here. Yeah, 42. All right, so we found our area. Right off the top of the head, we can get into that 40-45 range. So let me hit this one for you, Jake. We're going to go Lopez Savali, Bo Naylor, Tristan Gray, Geloff, Jose Ramirez, Gunner, Bleday, Butler, Rooker. $98, 8, and 118. Yeah, I'm guessing this will be in that like 30 range. Unless you built it already and you're setting yourself up. Yeah, 22. It's Bleday that needs to go in that lineup. If you turn Bleday into Lane Thomas, That increases the projection quite a bit. I think we can get a little bit of a boost there. Yeah. See? One little tweak. One little tweak. In theory, Tristan Gray can go away there too, but I don't know how much that's going to save the day. Only have 2,100, so we'd have to move some other stuff around. What else do we have here? Four prong. I'll hit that one as well. Louder Savali. Jesus. What are we doing here, brother? Louder Savali. 5-man Mets with Contreras, Churio, and Jimenez. So that's going to be... Now, we're going to have... this Milwaukee team is going to have too high of projections when we run this. So this might look better than it this is 100% going to look better than it should. Churio... I assume Jimenez, you're meaning Cleveland Jimenez at second base for value. So what do you want here for the Mets then? We're talking Alonso, Vientos, Lindor. Can't go Nimmo Martinez, I don't think. We want Nimmo. Nimmo Marte? I mean, there's no ownership on this lineup. Projection's not bad. We could probably make 1 or 2 tweaks if this is lower than I think it's going to be and really improve it. Jorge, I got you. All right, 23. Perfect. So right away, easiest spot that I think can be upgraded is probably Nimmo. If we switch Nimmo to Winker, that gives us $900 to get off of Louder and get to Birdsong. Now we still have $2,000 left over. Oh, we can't go to Birdsong because of Churio and Contreras. Shit. Okay. Let's peep Stroman. And then... do we have a mechanism to get a little bit more efficient somewhere else? We can get back to Nimmo. Let's try that. This should be pretty good. 94 is a little lower in projection, but we cut ownership to 72. Well below the 3 digits that we were working in before. So, 26. I think Stroman is probably the problem there. I like that lineup, though. All right, Jorge, let me hit that one. So we've got Spencer Arrighetti, Louder. I'm not expecting much out of Louder here. We're going to end up having to change that. We're just going to immediately drop to Birdsong, is my expectation. Contreras. Sal Perez, I'm guessing. Turang. DeYoung. Witt. Pham. Renfro. Do we not have Renfro in projections? Jorge. I don't think we have Renfro in projections. Unless did I put somebody in the wrong position? I probably should have looked at that before I hit clear. No, we just don't have Renfro in projections. Yeah. So back to the drawing board, and I'll run it again. We got a little bit of time before NFL starts, so. Steven, what'd you hit on that one? I want to build one more. Any other KC outfielder. Okay. So let's run that back again. Spaghetti. Louder, who we are absolutely 100% going to replace with anyone else. Probably Savali. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Put that on the screen. All right, let's try this again. Contreras. Sal Perez. Bryce Turang. Paul DeJong. Bobby Witt. Tommy Pham. Mitchell. MJ Melendez. Leave 700 on the table. Based on the projection, we're going to need to use that salary, but we have a natural gigantic upgrade here. It is going to eat some of the ownership, but when we switch Louder to Savali, this is going to look way different. So we're at 7 right there. If I take Louder out and I upgrade to Savali, that's still $900 on the table, but now we have 100 projection. This should look really good, and we still have one more spot that we can upgrade. Which is probably going to be Paul DeJong. Yeah, there you go. See? That one change, wildly different change. Up to 63. And I think if we take Paul DeJong out, I mean, technically Joey Ortiz has a higher projection. We now have $1,300 available. Can we get better than Savali? No. Savali stays. But that's a 4-4 now. And we have the ability to make a gigantic upgrade. Which actually, if we go 4-3-1, the best guy we can get in there right now at outfield pays off everything with Cedric Mullins. We'll see how much the correlation matters and if we want to try to finagle this a little bit differently, but this could be even bigger. Nope, 45. Yeah, correlation is the big piece here. Best we could do here would be... Oh, Churio. Hip, hip, cheerio. Now this, I think, might pop. But now it's 5-man Milwaukee, 3-man KC. Yeah, Steven, I'll run that. 47. Man, I really thought that was going to go bigger there. I really, really did. I wonder. If I pop Paul DeJong back in there. What happens if it's Birdsong? Just out of curiosity. Odd Shopper Live coming up at 11 a.m. Eastern Time this morning. Don't forget. Ooh, that's way worse. All right, that makes sense. Don't forget, we have NFL Strategy Show coming up next on this channel in about 10 minutes. We also have MLB Live Before Lock later tonight. So we have a ton going on around these parts. Don't miss out on it. All right, Steven, let me hit that lineup. That's Lopez, Savali. Actually, let me refresh this just in case we ran anything else. We didn't. All right. Lopez in. Savali in. Jeffers. Miranda. Altuve. Nicky Lopez. I wasn't paying attention there and I was in the wrong position. Who's next? Larnack. Who do I miss? Oh, I missed Royce Lewis. Royce Lewis. Wallner. Kyle Ticker. $101 and $120. Yeah, this should be good. In that like 30 to 40 range is my guess. $50 on the dot. Stick the landing, Stephen Leibowitz. Jason Gordon says, can you do Baltimore, please? Jake, not that I know of. Doesn't mean it's not happening. It's just I legit don't know. Okay. Let's do Baltimore. And then we're going to get on out of here for the NFL show. So, this is easy. We want to target the lefties for Baltimore. So, I want Gunnar Henderson, non-negotiable. I want Cedric Mullins, non-negotiable. I want Ryan O'Hearn, non-negotiable. I want Adley Rutschman, non-negotiable. And then I'm pretty sure I want Santander, and I just want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, the idea of a $4,400 Jackson Holiday is something that I like, particularly so that I don't get Jimenez. So we're going to take that as the 5-man stack. We're going Jackson Holiday. Based on the ownership of those players, I don't think there's any other way I'm doing anything other than Pablo Lopez and Hayden Birdsong. That leaves us $3,200 for a third baseman, an outfielder, and an outfielder. Now, in a perfect world, we would be able to get Jose Ramirez here and get 2 more guys. That is not feasible. So, who is the best third baseman that we can get from a value perspective? What's the actual ceiling at third now? So Jose Ramirez is the standard. Honestly, like anything 7 or higher is good. So Jose Miranda would be the first guy to look at. A little bit more expensive than we'd like him to be. Nolan Arenado is there. I'm going to try Miranda, but I think this is going to end up failing. Can we bring anything else with Minnesota along for the ride? We can get Deshaun Kiersey in. But then we don't have enough for anybody legitimate. Might mean we tweak this a little bit and potentially get off. You know what? You know what I'm going to do? I think I have a way to make this a lot better. I'm dropping Adley Rutschman. And I'm grabbing... Oh, Kowser's way worse off. O'Hearn, Henderson, Mullins. Oh, Santander doesn't help me in this situation either. You know what? Santander doesn't kill me in this situation. If I get Santander... Jeffers at 4,300. Okay, that's not total death. Miranda makes it total death, though. That takes me down to 1,000. There's no way we're going to be able to salvage this by getting off of Pablo Lopez, but I got to look at it. If I get off of Pablo Lopez, we probably want to go Savali. That's both sides of that game. Does Chris Bassett save me at all? Actually, does Eric Getty save me at all? No. I really want Jeffers and Miranda there. All right, most efficient catcher option that doesn't suck. It's Contreras by a mile, but he's 4,900. Anything north of 6 is going to be good for us here. Freddie Fermin? And this can get us back in that Lopez territory, too. We go Lopez. And then at catcher, we go Freddie Fermin. Then at third base, we're back in the Paul DeJong bucket. Paul DeJong, Kyle Isbell. We get the stack right. 95-9, 93 ownership. It'll be okay. Kansas City's not the path. And I really don't think optimizing Baltimore is the key. You see the future? 48. Now my face, Squid. And we can do better than that, too. I'm pulling everything from Baltimore, and I'm building Baltimore efficiently. And then we got to get out of here. Most efficient Baltimore stack. I'm not going to the 9-hole. So it's Mullins, Eloy, Gunnar, Holiday, O'Hearn. Freddie Fermin is probably the guy that I should go to, but I don't like the path that it takes me on. Can I get to Jeffers? Jeffers, Larnack, and any third baseman? Which ends up being... no. No. This is a tough path, folks. It's a tough path. If I go for Mean, it forces me to DeJong, which is not what I want. If I go MJ Melendez, the best third baseman I can put in this lineup is Royce Lewis. Final try, last lineup, and then we're getting out of here. 97 and 102. We know where we're going to be here. Guys, thank you for being here. It's fantastic to have you. I love doing this show. I particularly love doing it on days where we don't have NFL. We have an 11-game slate that we could really dig into and look through all those top stacks, look through the pitchers. There we go, 37 and a half, and build out lineups for a half hour. But now you can do all of the things that you like to do, but for the NFL side, which I know most people care about more. Not this guy. I'm here for you guys in the MLB streets. I'm going to get on out of here, folks. Thank you for being here. NFL show starts in 2 minutes. Do not miss it, because if you do, That's just not as fun. Watch it live. Peace.